That's the type of woman I need. That's the type of woman I need. A virtuous woman. Her husband loves her, her children they bless her. She's clothed with strength and honor. Her heart's desire is to please the Father, her true character. Just like a mother, but like no other, trusting God to secure a future. Wisdom in her heart, her righteousness is a splendor. God is her strong tower. Who can find a virtuous woman? Virtuous woman. One of a kind, a virtuous woman. Virtuous woman. Hard to find a virtuous woman. Virtuous woman. So divine, this girl of mine. She's all over and a best friend. Her love's not easily broken. This girl of mine, she's one of a kind. I pray to God her love won't end. She's all over and my best friend. Her love's not easily broken. This girl of mine, she's one of a kind. I pray to God her love won't end. Who can find a virtuous woman? Virtuous woman. One of a kind, a virtuous woman. Virtuous woman. Hard to find a virtuous woman. Virtuous woman. So divine, this girl of mine. One of God's finest creations was made to be my companion. A support in all situations, a comfort through all tribulations. My greatest heart possession is just a few to every generation. The kind of girl you can depend on. That's the type of woman who can find a virtuous woman. Virtuous woman. One of a kind, a virtuous woman. Virtuous woman. Hard to find a virtuous woman. Virtuous woman. So divine, this girl of mine. That's the type of woman I need to succeed and achieve things you won't even believe. Almighty God, you bless me indeed. That's the type of woman I need to succeed and achieve things you won't even believe. Father,
Forged in fire, empowered to inspire.
Woman, you are clothed with strength and dignity.
You're beautiful, you're strong, and you're resilient.
You are gifted. You are strong. You are a blessing.
Keep each other accountable.
Woman, you are precious. You are extraordinary. You are loved.
She is kind, nurturing, and very loving.
You are God's precious gift to the earth realm and the body of Christ.
Time to arise and build.
Daughters of God, women connect.
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 You are a blessing. Women connect. For women, by women.
Hello, and good afternoon. Welcome to Women Connect. This is a program for women, by women, and we are here and ready for another interesting topic. So, lovely ladies out there, you need to share the live. Call up mommy, call up auntie, call up a sister, call up somebody that you know would need to hear about this program today. Joining me are two lovely ladies to my right. No stranger to you, Bishop Dr. Esther Batiste. Bishop, say good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Greetings, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on Women Connect, Hope 103.1 FM.
Lovely. And to those of you out there, as you can see, we have a beautiful, I can say young lady. And, yeah, she's blushing there. a beautiful young lady who is joining us this afternoon for the very first time. So I'm going to say welcome to Hope FM and also welcome to Women Connect. It's a program for women by women here on 103.1 FM. So I'm introducing to you Mrs. Wendy Young. And say good afternoon to our audience, Wendy. Yes. And I'm sure the audience would like to hear maybe just a little about yourself, meeting you for the very first time.
Meeting me for the very first time. I think so many people know me more than I think. But I'm Wendy Avril Young, actually. Yes, you're correct. And I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a career person. I work a very stressful full-time job. And I'm simply me.
All right.
That simple, me, human being that's going through life just like you, ladies out there who are in my circle, along my age group. So
I think we're having maybe just a little technical difficulty. I'm not too sure if the audience is hearing you. So maybe we need to put the mic maybe just a little bit closer. And our technician in the background is working on it. So for those of you who are not hearing our guests, we're working on it in the meantime. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about our topic for today. And if we need to reintroduce, we're going to reintroduce just so that you know this is Mrs. Young. And she said, so I'm just going to reiterate some of the things that she said. She's a mother, she's a wife, and just simple. She said she's just simply her. All right. So we would like to welcome you again. And to those of you listening to us on the radio, 103.1, our frequency, and perhaps you're on YouTube looking at us, perhaps on Facebook looking at us, we would like to say welcome to you this afternoon. It is always a pleasure. We are having a discussion. This is just a time for you, especially the ladies. All right. It's a program for everybody, but especially for the women. We want you to learn something new today. We are talking about the pause. We decided to call it the pause. All right. Others may know it as menopause, but today we are talking about the pause. All right. And I think we're hearing, Wendy, can you just speak in the mic one more time? Let's make sure that
I hope you're hearing me better now.
loud and clear.
Wonderful.
Okay, lovely. All right. So those of you hearing her voice for the first time, this is Mrs. Young, as she said, mother, wife, career person, and she's delighted and happy to be with us this afternoon. All right. So as I said before, today we're talking about the pause. And in just a bit, just before we jump into that topic, we just want to do a little icebreaker. And for those of you out there, perhaps you're listening and you want to be a part of the icebreaker, you are welcome. All right. So this icebreaker is called the rose, the thorn, and the bud. All right. Rose, thorn, bud. All right, what we're going to do and what you can do, our audience as well, we would like to share, we would like for you to share, and we would share as well, one thing that is positive that we are grateful for in life. All right, this is just a little reflection time. We would like for you to reflect. What is one thing that you are grateful for? That's the rose. And then we would share a thorn, something that has been challenging for us, something, maybe a difficulty that we've been going through. And then finally, we're going to share a bud, something that we are looking forward to, something that we would like to develop or learn in life. All right. So where do we start? Should I start with me or should I go to the left, to the right? Where do we want to start? All right, I'll start with me. So I'm going to start with my rose. What am I grateful for? I am grateful for, honestly, I am grateful for good health. I look around me, and it may sound like a cliche, it may sound like something everybody's saying. Lord, I thank you for health. But God knows my heart. I am grateful for health. I look around me and I see so many persons who are undergoing perhaps surgery, those in the hospital, those who are dying, those who are, suffering through some kind of terminal illness. And I am just grateful for good health. That is my thorn. All right. Maybe we should all share. Oh,
Rose.
sorry, my rose, my rose. I said the wrong thing, my rose.
Rose.
Let's share our thorns, and then we'll go with the thorn and then the bud. So let's go with Bishop, and then we'll end up with
Wow,
our.
I may have so many roses.
Uh-huh.
But I am grateful because I champion the cause for destiny and purpose. So over the years, I've seen my life unfold in so many ways, destiny and purpose. And when I look back, like as a child, I could not envision anything like that. I was so naive. But the great grace of God, to one of the highlights in this year was, receiving that doctorate. You know, um, ceremony, actually going to the ceremony, and being there and sitting there. I couldn't even imagine myself as I sit there. That was one of the things, in my mind. I know I said, in my future there has to be a doctorate in there, but I never envisioned it happening, in such an early time of my life. So I'm grateful for destiny and purpose being fulfilled as I'm rolling out my life. I see every living stage. I realize it was orchestrated by God. So I'm grateful for that. It's not a boast. It's just being grateful
Yes,
for the
yes.
the the orchestration of, the destiny and purpose that God has set in my life, and I appreciate that.
Amen. What about you, Wendy?
Yes.
What are you grateful?
What I am grateful for. I am grateful for the whole thought of life itself. That whole thing called life. We really take it for granted. And for some of us who have seen our loved ones just pass by, life just slip away very early,
Mhm.
especially when they're very close to you.
Right.
You are just to be grateful for life, and not just life in itself, but life with good health. And you're able to function,
Yeah.
because sometimes you're living, but you're not able to function and contribute to society. You're just there, you're like a burden. But I am simply grateful for life.
Yes, yes. All right, so we move on to the challenges, the thorn. It's still a part of life. I have to say that, and I have to say that one of my challenges in life is being a mother. Right? I am a mother to two wonderful, handsome young boys. But there are days when I see this as a challenge because,
Mhm.
sometimes I feel like, if am I really being a good mother? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? Am I being enough? There are challenges. And that is my challenge. My earnest challenge in life is, I have to say, one of my challenges being a mother and wondering whether or not I am doing enough. Um, I know God is doing a lot through me and in me and shaping me in the process. But my challenge, one of my challenges, difficulties, is being a mother.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I mean, one of my challenge. I mean, there's several, but I believe the when I was pregnant with my daughter, I almost lost my life. Um, at the let's say maybe about a week into the delivery process, I had what they call pregnancy induced hypertension. I didn't know it. I was a walking dead, and I didn't know it. I was like, I had some pains before, and I just thought it was gas, and then it get into headaches. And when the doctors checked me, they had to send me to the emergency room. I sat in a dark room with all these machines around me testing, every, ever so often. And I realized that at the end of the day, I would have died or the child would have died. I had no strength to deliver, and the child had no strength to push out. And that was a changing moment of my life where, I see the hand of God. I remember as I sit in that bed with all these nurses, like in the ER, and one of the nurses came and she held my hand and she prayed. She don't even know me from Adams, but she prayed, and I believe the grace of God really sustained me. So that was on the verge of my pastoral ministry. So if that was a reality, I wouldn't be here today. So those are some real tough challenges that I've had in my life, to face multiple times of death. I can tell you that. But God has sustained me, and I am grateful for that. Yes.
My thorn?
Yes, your thorn.
My thorn is understanding my children's language. They seem to be speaking a different language. It's a challenge. And I'm sure many of you out there can identify.
Oh, yes.
You think you understand and you go away thinking, yes, okay, that's it, you've gotten it. And then they come and they tell you something and you said, but I thought that was what you said. And they said, no, that's not what I said. You're not listening. No.
Right.
So that's my thorn. So it seems as though they're speaking a different language. And that's my challenge.
Seem like we have the same challenge of listening. You're not listening, mommy. You're not listening.
Trust me, if you want to sit down here today, we'll be sharing so many, because there are many thorns that we have, many roses. But what do we look forward to? One of the things that I am honestly looking forward to is, and it's along the same line of my challenge, of my difficulty, in seeing my children become great. And when I say great, I mean overcoming their own challenges, overcoming their own shortcomings, and seeing them. I look forward to the days of graduation and all of these things. I'm really looking forward to seeing Jedediah and Zion. I could just feel it all now. Right? It's like, oh my gosh, all the sleepless nights, all the crying, all the quarreling, it paid off. Yes. And I really believe that I would live to see that day, that I will give God thanks that though I went through all of these difficulties, this is what became of it, and I am grateful.
Yes. like Miles Monroe says, don't die old, die empty. So one of my challenges, what I like to see fulfilled in my life is that, we fulfill our destiny or purpose. Yes. We don't just age and get old and then bumped out of like the ministries at the system, but we empty ourselves,
right?
Before we die. That's one of the things that I don't know if I'm aligning to a proper thing here, because Miles Monroe did not die old, really, and he did not die full. He died empty. So I hope I'm not going to the same trajectory, but but that is my ambition. Yes.
So I understand. You need to
make sure that you're empty at your purpose, right?
Yes. Yes.
I want to be a bit more emotionally intelligent.
Just bring your mic up.
As you get older, they say you're supposed to get wiser.
True.
So I think my hope is to be a bit more emotionally intelligent and more in tune with persons, how they feel, so that way I can help more. Right. I can do more. Right. Yeah. Simply like fulfilling.
Yes.
You're just fulfilling your purpose.
Right. Yes. So when you leave here on earth, you're not going. You're leaving basically empty. You've given all that you have.
Yeah.
Yes. You didn't hold back.
Yes.
So for those of you out there, we just wanted to do this little icebreaker, to kind of make sure that we feel a little lighter going forward talking about this topic of menopause, because we know For me, it's going to be a time where I learn a lot today. Obviously, right? I'm going to learn a lot from these two ladies. They're going to be pouring into me, and hopefully, for those of you out there, you can share with us. So, if you are going through the same stage, and perhaps you want to learn just like me. All right, ask the question, share comments so that we can also learn with you, along with you. We are looking forward to this. So today, as I said before, we are talking about menopause. We're calling it the pause. All right. What really is menopause? And there are three different stages, I think, in a lady's life. We have the peri-menopause, we have menopause, and then we have post-menopause. We don't have a doctor with us today, sadly, but as I said, we're learning together, and I'm sure the knowledge that we have together, we can all learn something. All right. So perimenopause is supposed to be that time right before menopause. Menopause is typically from age 45 to about 50 there,
55, yeah.
55, 50 thereabout. Right. So perimenopause is that stage immediately before. All right. Menopause is the stage 45 to 55 thereabout. And then you have the postmenopause after you've gone through that stage. All right. So for those of you out there, we're talking about menopause, but just in case we should mention any of these words, you would know what we're talking about, the stages. All right. Now, all right, let's talk about symptoms. All right. Because for me, for me, I've heard, well, I think for a lot of people, not everybody, you may hear your parents say, let me say, not say parent, your mom say that, okay, I'm going through menopause now. They may not mention that this is what they're experiencing, all the symptoms or so, but um, what are some of the symptoms? What are some of
So
the
I think
symptoms?
Linda, they kind of jump in the gun there, go into symptoms very quick.
Yes.
but even in terms of like the understanding of the science
Mhm.
of our reproductive systems, I
Mhm.
mean, we don't have the doctors, but we have
Yeah.
a little bit of science
What
here
really
because
is
we
it?
know for women in the early stages of their life, they go through what they call puberty,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
In puberty, it is the onset of your menstrual cycle, right?
Mhm.
It's another stage that you go through,
Mhm.
right? From, young, let's say, juniors or sub juniors,
Mhm.
and then you go into puberty,
Mhm.
right? Where you have the first onset of a menstruation,
Mhm.
right? So that's the early part, and then for the next couple of years of your life, you go through that menstrual cycle, right?
Mhm.
And it
Mhm.
starts on the first day of the bleeding or the first day of the menstruation, and then you have the 14-day. You have what we call ovulation, which
Mhm.
is in the fallopian tube. There are the production of eggs,
Mhm.
which is critical for fertilization, for reproduction and fertilization. And so
Right.
every month an egg is released from the fallopian tube, goes
Ovary.
down
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
from the ovary, sorry,
Mhm.
into the fallopian tube,
Mhm.
and goes into the womb to prepare the individual for in
Mhm.
case there is pregnancy.
Yes.
There's
Mhm.
fertilization. And then if there's fertilization, of course, if there has to be sexual intercourse,
Yes.
um, the person gets pregnant and there is the gestation period and all of that, right?
Mhm.
So it's a critical stage for the reproductive process of human. And I want to say that I want us to pause, right?
Yes.
To
Yes.
say that
Mm.
our menstrual stage or cycle in a woman's life has always been demonized
Mm.
or always been looked at as dirty and ugly, and we dare it.
Right.
Come on, be real,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
And it's always seen as a taboo in our cultures because we want to hide, we
Mhm.
want to go away, we want to, we don't want to be involved in activities or whatever.
Right.
You'll have people talking about, the women, they're unclean in
Mhm.
those period of our life.
Mhm.
But I think we need to dispel that myth and
All right.
those cultural taboos
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
it is one of the most powerful stages of a woman's life. I was listening to a maybe a message by Billy Graham. I think Billy Graham has one of the healthiest view of women that I've heard in the history of preachers, on our modern century.
Mhm.
And what we term as a weakness, what we want to hide, what we have taboos about, what we have, the innuendos about, is one of the most beautiful things in a woman's life. I didn't know that until now.
Mhm.
So I went to the stage where you want to hide. You went to the stage where you don't want to go out. And in terms of the pain and all the discomforts and all the things like that, we never saw it as a beautiful thing.
True.
Anybody on the social media could tell me you saw it as a beautiful thing. You're lying. Right? It's a lie. It's not always a beautiful thing. Even when we give birth, it's not always the aftercare and all that. It's not a beautiful thing. To have this bleeding for 7 days or 5 days or whatever the period. Some people go longer than that. It's not a beautiful thing, right? And so the dignity of facing it, with the industries have given us tampons and pads and just for the dignity of it. But imagine our old folk,
With the
they used to wear cut their sheet,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Cut pillowcase, whatever. Get some piece of cloth,
Yes.
right? And cushion the effect of this dripping dimension for 7 days. So a lot of the ugliness came out of it. But before we even go into that, even menopause too is a beautiful stage, but it's not red like that. And some people say, Pastor, what you talking about?
Right.
So I want us to talk about that because
Yeah.
I think the reproduction and the reproductive stage is a beautiful stage because without that, we cannot have the perpetuation of a generation, a race, or whatever. And a lot of the things in women that are beautiful, we have in our society that's built on what we call patriarchal systems have downgraded and disgraded the most beautiful thing. We are strongest at that point. We are healthier at that point because the hormones that are built in our system, in fact, prevents us from getting disease during that time.
Oh, look at that.
It's the most beautiful thing because yes, and so when we have the menopause where the estrogen levels goes down, then we develop diseases, breast cancers, and this and that. I was listening to Dr. Martin. He said that. He says this is a stage when this mechanism in our body keeps us healthiest and prevent us from getting a lot of things that we'll get ordinarily outside of that.
And that is true.
That is true, right?
And that is
Yes,
true.
you can comment on that.
So I can tell you that, and I'm just speaking from personal experience, because I now have a sense of appreciation for how my youthfulness was. Not that I'm old.
Yes. Qualify this now.
You understand? During those early 20s and 30s, I can really tell you how vibrant life
Yes.
was.
Yes.
I'm sure,
Yes.
well, you still remember and you're a baby.
Yes.
But you then start to see the change for
Mhm.
some of us
True.
in our late 30s
Mhm.
and 40s. I remember, and I'm not in any way going to say that the failing of our eyesight is because of menopause. I'm just
Right.
going to just use this as a point here.
Yeah.
I remember getting up the year I was to turn 40. And mind you, I do look 30 now.
Tell me now.
And I looked outside that morning, and what I used to see without the use of glasses
Right.
just seemed not so clear
Mhm.
anymore. And I
True.
started squinting a
I
little bit
think I'm at
more.
that
Yes.
stage.
Yes.
I went to the eye specialist, and they proceeded to have me read something that went like this. When you get to the age of 40, your eyesight starts to fail. I told him, no, I'm too cute to wear glasses. And from that time, all the way to 44, 45, I tried my best not to wear glasses.
You understand?
So I'm saying all of this to say sometimes we experience certain changes in ourselves, but we don't want to accept.
Yes,
Right.
yes, yes.
And it's the same with menopause. And this is why we need to also pause and
Right.
state here that what we are talking about is a natural process.
Yes, yes.
So there's nothing to be ashamed about.
Right.
That natural process is a natural process.
Right.
And if you
Biological,
try
yes.
to interfere with the natural process, then you might run into problems.
Yes.
Shoot.
So during your youthfulness, that succulent time when everything is nice and childbearing is easy and ooh, and you're looking all,
Yeah.
those times you might catch a flu and the flu would go away within
Yes. Yes.
things would happen. You wouldn't even think about breast cancer around that time. For a matter of fact, you would find that some persons who may, by some chance, have those sorts of challenges in their youthful stage, that's prior to 38, 39, they would not have caught it early because they're not thinking along those lines.
Okay.
Your breast feels different. It's a lot more dense at that time. So it's harder for you to pick up lumps at that time. As you age, however, things start to feel and soften up a bit. And, some people don't like to talk about it, but that's how
the
it
reality.
is. That's the reality.
Because they say whether you like it or not, it's coming.
It's coming.
It's going to be
It's
there,
coming.
right?
But you know what? We can all age gracefully simply by accepting the little things, the little changes that take place. But first, you need to know who you were, what you were like, how things were, how your body was. Some people don't know that because they never took the time to know their body. Some persons, however, may not have had a choice. Their menstrual cycle was topsy turvy anyway. So trying to figure out what might be going on with you could be kind of crazy. So some of the symptoms, as you wanted to find out, and thank you, Bishop, you did explain very nicely how our youthfulness were. Some of the symptoms that you would really start experiencing that gives you an inkling that it's perimenopause, not menopause.
Not menopause is it.
Sometimes could be lack of sleep.
Yeah.
That ability to just fall asleep at night after a hard, you're tired, and for some reason you just can't
sleep. Yeah.
So they call it insomnia. You may not experience hot flash. You may not experience dry scalp, dry skin, and all of that. You may not, but it might just start with that subtle thing, sleep.
Yeah.
Or it might start with the change in your menstrual cycle, where you might miss a period, or it might be shortened, or it might be lengthened, or it might be heavier, or it might be lighter. So once you know what it used to be like with you, when these subtle changes take place, then you're able to kind of document. And it's not that you need to run to the doctor, but you need to kind of take note,
to that.
Right.
patterns to see what's happening. Then you can then go talk to your doctor about it and that sort of a thing.
Yes, yes,
All right.
yes.
I like the words you're using. Subtle changes. So we have to pay attention.
They're slow.
Yes.
They come up very.
We have to pay attention. And
unnoticed.
I think as ladies, this is one of the things that we need to take note of. Pay attention to your body.
Or biology.
Yes.
Yes.
Take the time to pay attention, because sometimes life can become so, you can become so immense and immersed rather into life and everything that's happening that you forget your personal personal time
Self-care.
and
They call it
self-care,
self-care.
And
self-care,
self-awareness.
self-awareness.
Mhm.
Those are the words. Those are the words.
Yes.
So you mentioned things like, and I was looking online because I said I need to educate myself. I need
Yes,
to
of
know
course.
because the only couple words I used to hear from my mom is like, "Oh my
The
gosh, it's so
anxiety
hot.
about it, yeah.
Oh gosh, it's so hot."
It's hot.
All right, and you don't hear about the other symptoms, but maybe somebody out there needs to hear, that there are other symptoms
Uh-huh.
that will come along with it.
Yes.
So
And sleep is just
Yeah.
so I didn't even know that. I didn't even know
Yeah.
insomnia.
I mean, one of the things that we must pay attention is the stage of your life,
Yeah.
right? So when you reach a certain age,
Yes.
and even in today's society, we start as early as 35. So even women in their 30s have to be paying attention.
I know they usually say pay attention to your mom maybe around the same
Well,
age.
sometimes it's
Yes.
genetic. Sometimes there are
Yeah.
genetic
Sometimes. Mhm.
circumstances that are surrounding that. So as we said, it's important to pay attention. And also I want to say, not all persons' experiences are the same. And
Right. That's it.
because, for
Everybody.
example, you have like 2 children, I have 4 kids, and no pregnancy is the same.
Right.
There might be generic, factors that are associated with it, but they're not the same,
Right.
right? And no 2 women go through their menstrual cycle the same,
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
right? So let's say you have a lot of pain in your menstrual cycle, you might just take a Panadol and you're good, right? And somebody else might have to take a Motrin, or somebody else have to take some stronger something, or somebody might just drink some spiced tea and they're good, right? But you all have pain, but on different levels. So when we speak now, we speak and we scare everybody because, oh, it does have a lot of pain, oh, it does have a lot of this or that. And then we realize that everybody's biological makeup is different.
Right.
Right? So what we want to do is educate ourselves so that we don't go into the panic moods, or we don't go into the scare factors, right? But we understand that I can take your medicine for my pain.
Right.
You understand? So it's different. While it's generic across the board, while we're happening is menstrual cycles and menstruation and that kind of thing. But how we experience it in our biology is very unique and different.
Yeah.
All right.
And that
is
helps.
true.
Yeah, that helps.
Ah, so interesting.
Yep.
So I would really, really love to hear from our guests today.
Yes.
And as everybody knows, as they have made it very clear, I'm the baby in the midst. So I'm
Baby
learning a
in the
lot today.
midst.
I'm learning a lot. So I would like to hear from our guests. And you can continue talking about the symptoms and so. When did you first start? I know you said about the eyesight thing. All right, but when did you first start? When did it first click? Okay, this looks like menopause. This looks like I'm going through menopause. When did you first start? Or perhaps, I don't know, maybe later down the line you really realize that was when you first started. But
Yeah, sometimes.
when did you first?
So we just deal with the pair because we have to come to the menopause.
Yes, the pair.
But we're looking at basically the signals and the
The
signs
signals,
and the
yes.
cues
Yes.
that we will pick up in terms of. So I say one of the things is your age, because the age can lie, right? But also your menstrual history, your cycle, right? Of course, if that is erratic, if you don't normally have an erratic cycle, and then you start having an erratic cycle, at least we said it before, any little small changes, right? Because for women, it's going to be different across the board, right? While some might start in their 35, some might start in their 45s, some might start, between those ages there, but it is between is 45, right? Pre 45, right? And at least 355. But you're looking for, well, the changes in the hormonal composition. You're also looking in changes in your moods,
Right.
right? Because this is sparkly channeled by hormones.
Right.
It's hormone, because menopause is the thing is the decrease in the estrogen levels in your body. These hormones, estrogen, progesterone,
Yes.
that
Those two
governs a
hormones.
woman's sexuality.
Yes.
starts to decrease. And when that decrease, we have not just physical symptoms, but you have psychological, emotional symptoms. So sometimes you have some people either side of the tantrum. Some people are just aggravated, and some people calm. It depends on the individual as well. Some people, they are irritated for
So
everything.
the mood
Just
swings,
mood,
mood swings.
a whole set of
Right.
moods. And as she says, sometimes you'll have sleep difficulties. Sometimes you'll have eating difficulties. Like you're eating a lot or eating less.
Right.
So all of that takes care of either the physical or the physiological changes, and also the psychological changes, but also the hormonal changes, the biological changes that happens in your body, right? And sometimes in cases like women, sometimes you'll have just your interest in things. Sometimes you slow down in terms of your energy levels, right? So all of that, and these escalate as you go into it, as you go deeper into the menopausal stage. And as we said, this is normal, this is natural, this is a biological process. We have to go through it, just as we go through menstruation, puberty, sorry, and we go to other middle adult age. These are developmental stages in your life. Of course, it's the downward side, but nevertheless, we don't want people to go through it in fear, because how you think about it too could also affect how much it affects you. The thing you fear, and Job says, has come upon you the most. So sometimes our attitude, and then there are situations where we can literally induce the thing upon ourselves. What's the saying? I'm trying to find the word that they normally say, like self-fulfilled prophecies, right? So you say, well, I think I'll have a bad time, or I'll go through this, or go through that. And you literally will go through it, because you're speaking it upon yourself.
Right.
And you're not preparing, you're not eating well, you're not exercising, you're not sleeping. So obviously, you're going to go through a lot of these things. So it's not one of the things that we want to do tonight. As I said to people, knowledge fills the house.
Right.
Right. I remember one time I gave this like a joke. Well, we always used to have these little geckos. We call them sticky lizards, right? So a lot of people are afraid of sticky lizards because there's a taboo. It will stick on you and whatever.
you have to take a
I'm
hot
afraid of
time to
lizard
get it out.
generally, but much less for the gecko, right?
Yes.
And one time I was watching this cartoon. It's really like the Krat Brothers. I don't know if you all know it, but the Krat Brothers is a cartoon that teaches you about animals.
Yes.
All right. So the Krat
Forget what
Brothers
they
will
call it,
go into the what if, and goes into the life or the life of the animal, and share the facts about the animal by becoming the animal. And one time they were doing the gecko, and they were saying, giving us all the facts about the gecko. I used to afraid of gecko too. And they were saying the reason why the thing sticks to the wall or to wherever it is because it has a suction
in its hand.
built into his feet to be able to stay on the wall, because they go after moths and flies and things that go with the light, so they have to climb. And it is not sticking because he wants to kill you.
Yeah.
It is sticking because of the nature of the thing to survive.
Yeah.
And that changed my whole perspective on afraid of the gecko. I mean, I wouldn't hold it ordinarily, but I understand the animals, the whole science of it. It's not that is looking to jump on you and stick and do some real harm to you. So knowledge always fills the house. And from that I said, you know what? All of these animals that we're afraid of, snakes, whatever else, if we just learn the science of them, we wouldn't be afraid of them. I'm sure there's animals you're afraid, Congory, whatever.
Yeah.
We jump in helter skelter on top of the table, we carrying on, a little cockroach pass, we carrying on. But you have to realize that knowledge fills the house, right? Understanding establishes it. That's a proverb that says that. So the more we can understand the science of our body and how it works, and get the help from the scientists, the doctors, those specialists. Not everybody specializes in menopause. It will help us. I just wanted to say that and make sure we qualify that. Yeah.
So what about you, Wendy? What was your experience like when you first started seeing the signs and Tell us a little bit about that.
Signs of menopause or perimenopause.
Yeah.
Because to be truthful, we have to recognize too that for somebody to say that they're in menopause, they shouldn't have a menstrual cycle for an entire year, 12 months. So if you're still having a period during that 12-month period, you're not in menopause yet.
Okay.
You're still going through perimenopause. Right. So for us young people who are not quite yet in menopause and we're going through the perimenopause stage, not you. Well, we ain't too sure because after we finish speaking, you may just realize, but wait. Now, I think for me, I would have, I didn't quite know what was happening a couple years ago. Because I used to jokingly, and I Bishop talk about self. I used to jokingly talk about how hot it is. And oh my goodness, probably I'm having a hot flash. Not knowing that I had no idea what a hot flash can be. So actually, when I came into the studio and I was handed this, I said, oh, good. That's another fan. Because even though it's conditioned in here, because I was worried that I didn't come with my lovely rag, So if at all one of those hot flashes started, I can just excuse myself diplomatically and fan. Anyway, so it's a few years ago I would have recognized something was not right. During sleep, I would be awoken by these sweats, night sweats, they would call it. And I didn't quite think much of it the first night. All I knew is that I had a bad night and I did not sleep much. I got up, I went through my day as usual, and the next night rolled around. And it was a weekend, actually, and it happened again. I woke up my husband and I told him something is wrong with me. He told me nothing is wrong with me. Go back to sleep. I said, but aren't you hot? He said, no, he's not hot. And I'm pouring sweat. And I kid you not, it was like every hour. So that was the onset. That was the time I became aware something is happening. And I thought about it. I looked it up. You go to Dr. Google first. And then it said it's possible it's possible this is perimenopause, a hot flash, and all of those sorts of things. And I said to myself, oh my goodness, it seems as though it's on. Well, if it's about to get me, I'm going to learn all I can about it before it gets to me. And I kept reading and reading and asking questions because nobody seems to speak much about this thing. And I was not going to go through the rest of my life, if it was going to stay with me for the rest of my life, not sleeping properly, and then getting up and looking at my husband peacefully sleeping. I think that's my thought. Peacefully sleeping. And I can't sleep because it's just so hot. But the third night came around because I spoke about it during the day so much that something seemed to not be right. And my husband said, okay, let's see if what's going to happen. And I kid you not, it happened again. And so it was only happening to me at night. And he said, okay, it seems as though it's on. But because of that openness that we have, I think it has helped our relationship because I can tell you something like that repeatedly happening and a husband not understanding what is happening could possibly cause problems. So at the beginning of the show, we asked for women to join, but really we need the men to join
Yes,
too.
yes, quite agree.
Because I
quite
don't
agree.
think they quite understand what we are going through. And sometimes you have to make a joke of it in order to pass the time and pass the situation, because really and truly it's just a natural process.
Right.
And once we get that through our heads that it's a natural process, it's just like the menstrual cycle, but it's just in a different way. Then for those of us who go through those night sweats or hot flashes during the day, or whatever the symptoms might be that seem to be more visible, because there are some symptoms that are not as visible,
Yes.
and that could also be problematic. What if we didn't recognize, or I didn't recognize, how my sleeping has been disrupted and I just continued going my jolly way? Do you know that persons who go for an extensive length of time without sleep, what happens?
Very crunchy.
Now, I'm sure those of you who know me very well
On edge.
would not like to see me roaming around the street like a mad woman, because it could mess up your mental state, right? And you want to be able to deal with that, deal with that lack of sleep and that night sweats and that sort of a thing before it gets out of hand. We have had experience, and I'm talking about some of my colleagues, and I have had experience with individuals who would have gone through that sort of a thing, and because of lack of sleep, now suffers from mental illness and has to be managed. And there are a number of persons who go through depression and that sort of a thing around this time, maybe not because of lack of sleep, but for whatever hormonal changes and imbalance that's going on, could cause that mental instability. And as a result, they have to take medication and that sort of a thing in order to ease the symptoms. But that comes with another set of knowledge that the people in your life, your children, your spouses, your co-workers, your employer, they need to be aware. So sometimes you have to declare your status in order for persons to help you.
Yes.
Declare through HR. Because remember, if you've been working with an establishment for a number of years, and here you're going through this particular situation, and you think there might be times that you may require, let's say, urgent leave for medical attention, you need to declare early.
Right.
Just simply go to HR and you explain, or you speak to your boss confidentially, and they try to work with you. So those are just some of the symptoms. Now some people would say, I've never gone through any symptom at all. I've heard older folks say that, persons in their 80s, and it might simply mean they were not aware.
Yes, true. Yes.
They were not
Yeah.
aware.
Yes.
Yes. So
true.
while they may not have had hot flashes as probably I do, or somebody else have had them, they may have felt hot, but not to the point where they have to sit in front of a fan. So you would have had a shower. That's your first shower. Then you got out of the shower, and then you start to sweat, and then you sit in front of the fan like if you just had a second shower. So you're dressing in stages.
Yes.
Those are some of the things that it's real.
Yes.
Now, mind you, outside is hot.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Our environment is hot.
Yeah.
So that's another added factor. But not everybody go through that stage. Some may go through hair thinning or hair loss. Some of you would have remembered me with my locks. I looked cute, right? So yes, I still do have my locks, but I just tried to change it up a bit. I just don't want the hair on my back anymore, right? Some would have remembered other aspects, the way you dress. Sometimes you don't want to dress with tight clothing. You want to dress with loose clothing. You don't want to dress with loose clothing. You want to dress with tight clothing. All these changes sometimes in a woman's life, and how it's like to the outside world, all of a sudden you change.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But your hormones make you sometimes behave a certain way. So
Right.
if you're conscious
Mhm.
of what is happening,
Yeah.
you wouldn't let it go out of hand.
Yes.
Because if you're not careful, you can do some crazy stuff. And you don't want to do those crazy stuff.
Ah.
Listening to what persons tell you.
Mm.
Sometimes people are very honest, but it might come across in a very harsh
Yeah.
way.
Mhm.
But they're telling you something they've observed about you.
Right.
You may not want to take all of it, but take a little bit and self check.
Mm-hmm.
And then try to see how best you can put yourself in line. Right? You talk about the mood swings.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I think my children think I'm crazy.
Ah.
That's another aspect.
And the tolerance level.
Yeah, tolerance is
Your
low.
tolerance
Very low.
level and you talk about the reproductive years, and I really think God knew what He was doing.
Yes.
He gave us a cutoff point to stop our
Mhm,
children,
mhm.
but some of us had hard. Because if you're going through that perimenopause stage where, let's say, you're having the sleepless night, you and the baby up, the two of you all watching one another. Then the morning comes, and then the two of you all still watching one another. And if you don't have that help,
Yes.
that person to support you, and psychologically, that's not healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a period in your time in your life where you can tolerate a lot of these things.
Right.
Some of the young people will tell you, "No, I can't deal with that. This baby crying too much." Really and truly, you could.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's when you get to our stage, you may not. To get up in the night to deal with the baby, then to get up work, or some of us might be studying. It's hard.
Yeah.
So that stress causes that added layer of symptoms that we may have, that outburst of heat, or some people break out. They get skin rash. It's like a heat rash.
It's to say when you're under stress,
Especially when
it's
you're under
aggravated
stress.
most.
Yes, it aggravates it. Some individuals, again, another thing, we need to touch on that. I remember when I was doing a bit of research. I have to sit carefully for this one.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing a bit of research about some of the symptoms that we women would experience. And I came across sexual health, because vaginal dryness is one of the things that you can experience when going through menopause, or sometimes perimenopause. And for those of you who don't want to hear about it, and for the men who think that this is madness, it is happening. It can happen. So when I heard about that and I read about that, I quickly started thinking of all the things that I can do to prevent, because no, 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 my sexual health needs to be intact. In fact, when I pray at night, the last part of the prayer is, Lord, please keep that going. But so I started looking. Yes, Lord, please keep that going. Because trust me, that no matter how we look at this thing, when it comes to marriages and relationships, when women go through that, I am now able to see how it can affect the relationship.
Yes.
Your mood swings, the man don't understand what's going on. You want to be left alone. Sometimes you don't want to be left alone. I know I love having my husband around me, but there are times I can't have him around me. All of these strange things, sometimes you have thoughts that are just not thoughts that you would normally have. And you have to check yourself, put yourself in check.
Right.
So a lot of control have to now come in. And that sometimes reminds me of puberty. When our children go through puberty, how haywire their thoughts are and their behavior and their hormones all over the place. And, you know, so can you imagine if you have a teenager now and you're going through
Multiply.
Yes.
Multiply.
craziness?
Oh my.
But
That's a good
it
point.
is what it is. Embracing the changes, talking about it
Right.
as much as you can, having a good partner, somebody that you could gist with.
Mm-hmm.
If your husband understands, especially your spouse, and let me generalize it, if your spouse understands what you're going through, it makes it easier.
Right.
Yes, that's a good point.
It's hot outside.
But
If
you're
you could
cold.
afford it, install an
AC.
AC.
Yes, yes.
But like my son told me the other day, he can't understand the logic because the AC is blasting and I had the fan on and I'm still sweating. So he could not understand the logic.
Oh my.
You know, but that's just my experience. Somebody else might be able to attest to it, and there are others who have no idea what a hot flash is and have never gone through it. But you might have gained weight.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's another
That's
symptom.
another one.
Yeah.
You see that tummy area?
Mm-hmm.
Thank God for Spanx. Whoever invented Spanx,
Uh,
they did the best thing
Emma.
Women, be real. Spanx is good, but there are some of us who can't stand the heat. This
Yes.
close fitting
Yeah.
thing. But when you want to look good and you want that smooth effect, you know, you put on your Spanx and you're good to go. And them guys and them don't really know. You're still looking good, you know. But that tummy area
Yeah.
is a tough one. So you do put on weight in some areas. You find it very difficult to lose what you've gained. You may eat more. You have cravings, like if you're pregnant. Sometimes I know I do have some cravings, and I have to really watch myself. But there are other things that you can start looking at. Since you know what you're going through, looking at your diet, what you eat, understanding that you're more prone to certain diseases and certain things happening in your body, you start looking at, I'm not going to say no sugar, but reducing your sugar.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you don't eat, but reducing the quantity. Some people might say, but I can't do that. I remember the first couple of times I would have gone to work with a container, because I cook my meals and take to work with me, and a container that was quite small. And somebody looked and said, "That's what you're having for lunch?" I said, "Yes, I think it's sufficient." They said, "No, I can't do that." I said, "Come here, come in." But you see, if you keep on the track, knowing that your body kind of holds on to everything you put in it.
Right.
And if you don't want that weight that's going to start affecting your knees, affecting all sorts of other things in your body, then you have to look at the quantity.
Yes, you
and
have to be
whatever
disciplined.
You are putting inside of you.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
I think it's a good point.
Well, you have said quite a lot, quite a lot there. And we have to take a short break, for just a little bit, and we'll be right back because this conversation is really going on. This is some good stuff right here. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Singles and married couples, are you ready to defend the cause? Let's stand together at the Epic Marriage Conference 2025. The weekend begins with our Singles Conference, Friday, October 24th from 5 p.m. Ticket price $100. Our marriage conference follows on Saturday, October 25th from 9 a.m. and on Sunday, October 26th from 3 p.m. Ticket price $250 per person. Ticket outlets: Mitchell's Pharmacy, Grandans Shopping Center, and JDIA Pharmacy, Bruce Street Mall, St. George. All sessions will be held at the Radisson Grenada Beach Resort. Be a part of this epic experience and get a chance to win exciting prizes. Epic Marriage Conference, October 24th to 26th. defending the cause. This event is proudly supported by our platinum sponsors, Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited and the Ministry of Social Development.
All right, so we are back. We are back. This is Women Connect. For those of you just joining us, a program for women by women. And with me here is Bishop Dr. Esther Batiste and our dear guest, Mrs. Wendy Young. It has been so far a very interesting conversation on the pause. We call it the pause, but we're talking about menopause. We spoke about perimenopause, leading up to menopause. We've been speaking about some of the symptoms, and we like to continue along that line. I just want to, for our guests, as Wendy said a while ago, yes, we said this program is for women, but we are saying to you, if you have a husband, come call him close by and say, honey, you need to hear this. There are some things that our husbands need to know. There are some things that, our family members need to know. As Wendy was talking, and she said, even at your workplace, sometimes you need to let HR know about certain things. You're going through this stage, and there are certain things that, you may require. You might need a little a day or two off. I don't know. Certain things that may be required because of the stage that you are going through. Family members need to know, your husband need to know what you're going through so that you can be on the same page. And as she was sharing there and talking about, it brought me back to, because we had a conversation before this. This is why I invited her here. Um, you know, this is the point at which a lot of marriages break up, right? Because there's no communication. You're going through this stage. Your husband doesn't understand what you're going through. You don't know how to explain what you're going through. You don't even know you're going through it. In some cases, women don't know what they're going through, and things are tough. Things get really tough. All right. So we need to be able to communicate with close friends, family, the boss, the workplace, whatever the case might be, so that we can really be at that point. We can really help ourselves and help each other. All right. Help others. So for our audience out there, we have a little activity for you. We would like for you to share in the chat with us. For those of you who have been going through maybe perimenopause, you're going through menopause, share with us just one word, in one word, or perhaps maybe a sentence. What's the most surprising thing you've learned about menopause, thing that you're going through? All right, if you're going through menopause, what is one of the most surprising things that you have learned that you're going through right now? And perhaps I would like to extend that question to the ladies right here with me. What is one of the surprising? I know Wendy has shared a lot, and Bishop as well, but something surprising that you went through, maybe perimenopause. Tell us. Something surprising, something that surprised you. Maybe there are a lot of things that surprised you, but share maybe one thing. This.
I think what really surprised me. Oh my goodness! I think me and this mic is having a really really interesting. I hope persons are hearing me. I'm gonna just hold it.
All right.
Yes. I think what really surprised me is the level of the heat.
Okay.
I had no idea
that it was that intense.
that the heat could be that intense.
Yes.
You're at church
Mhm.
you're in a meeting.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness, it could be really bad.
Intense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So for me, that surprised me. Learning other things as well, but that really caught me kind of
You know, there
off
was
guard.
there was one thing I think we had you know, in that initial conversation that we had, that you didn't mention a while ago, brain fog. Was it something?
Brain
Yes.
fog, yes,
Yes.
yes.
It's like
Oh
you're
my
forgetting.
goodness. But the interesting thing is that for some of us, those of us who would have gone through pregnancy can also identify
With the brain
with
fog.
brain fog.
Mhm.
But you thought you would have gotten over it
Mhm.
after having the children, and then
Mhm.
menopause comes, and then you realize, oh my goodness,
Mhm.
things are not coming as quickly. It's like clarity to
Mhm.
speak to, to do
Right,
certain things or
right.
recall could be a little fuzzy sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not for everybody, and there might be varying levels of the
Mhm.
fogginess
Mhm.
in how you would forget. Or take, for example, you're in the kitchen
Mhm.
and you just had a pot in your hand, and you went to the sink with the pot to fill the pot. And then you got
Oh my
to the
God.
sink and you're wondering, oh, what did I come to do here?
Oh my
Those sorts of.
goodness.
So those are things sometimes you can even laugh about, or you would go to the pantry to get something and you get to the pantry. Oh, what am I looking for again? Those sorts of little
Yes.
things. Yeah.
So we want to continue along those lines there. We're talking about striving through this thing called menopause, the transition. How do you transition? How do you deal with, how do you cope with all of this, the emotional, the mental, the physical changes? Are there I'm sure there are ladies out there going through the transition and they're wondering, Lord, I'm hearing about all of this. I know Bishop said a lot as well. You know, everybody's
It's different, yeah.
everybody's experience is different.
That's
But
true.
how can we encourage persons to cope? How do
Right.
we cope?
Because I think for us in the Caribbean, best practices, that's why sharing and exchanging experiences do help a lot. Because, like for me was like the cessation in the menstrual cycles for me, right? Experientially, I did not understand the length of time, because how people talk about it, sometimes you don't know, well, how much months, why is it supposed to be, it doesn't last for just a few months or years. Because I have had an experience with a lady who was going through menopause. She said, well, I think I go through menopause already, but she didn't realize it was extended years. You understand? We just think it's just maybe if I miss a period. And then I was in a program with Dr. Martin again, and he says, if you're in your menopause and your period come, is trouble, is problem.
Oh.
You're not supposed to have
You're
a,
not
a
supposed to.
period after your menopause. So
Mm-hmm.
the if you say you miss a period for 1 month, 2 months, and you come back, you're not in menopause yet. You're peri,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But if an entire year consecutively that you have missed the cycle, okay, you start in January and by December you still don't have a cycle,
Yeah.
that means you are in menopause. So mine was
Menopause.
clinically diagnosed, right? So it was after tests, blood tests, and whatever else, because I had some, things that I needed to do in my, with my reproductive system. And so that is how I knew. So the doctors would diagnose, tell you, but you're 90%
Mm-hmm.
into menopause, right? Or you're 50% into menopause. So in that way, you know whether you're fully into menopause, because of course with the reproduction and so on, you have to also look into that, especially if you have like any kind of IUDs, or if you have any kind of birth control, or if you have any kind of thing happening there, right? For you to determine that those things have to be removed,
Okay.
right?
All right.
And so that is how you will know. And then with the visit to the doctor, he'll be able to tell you, well, you're in so many percentage of menopause, right?
Wow.
But after that 12 months, consecutively, you have not,
All right.
you have not had a
All right.
Yeah, you have not had a period,
Then it's
right? It's
definitely.
definite.
Mhm.
You're into the menopause. So if you break down the word, they call it Annie Nora, ANENORRHEE,
Mhm.
right? Which is a breakdown of two words. All right, which is no menstruation.
Right.
Okay. So in other words, you're not having any menstrual cycle.
That's it.
No menstruation is
Uh-huh.
happening
That's the
for
real
a
thing.
consecutive
Menopause.
period of 12 months. Okay. So if you're peri, sometimes the only way to determine whether you're really peri or not is to do a diagnosis, a clinical diagnosis, because there's no real way until that 12 consecutive months elapses. Okay, then you're definitely into it. But then the doctors can tell you, hey, you're 90% there. You know, I was told I was so many percent there.
Right.
So I until you have that 12 months, and then you can say yes for real. You know what's going on there. So your period not supposed to come back after that.
Right.
If your period is
Still
seen after
coming.
12 months, that is a red flag.
Yes.
It's a dangerous the thing. So once you have no fallopian activities, no eggs are being released, there's no activities happening hormonally in terms of preparation for pregnancy and otherwise, then you're into menopause. So that's why I say sometimes we have to understand the science,
All right.
right? So that we are not into the taboo and we understand the biological stage is natural, it's biological, and it's a permanent cessation of your menstrual cycle.
Well, I'm saying good afternoon to the men on the chat here. I'm seeing some men, Mr. Batiste and Mr. Philip. Good afternoon to you both, and to all the men who are listening and maybe not saying anything, but good afternoon to all the men there. We have a question. I don't know if the ladies could answer, but do men experience brain fog as well?
I think they do.
I think maybe more
I
than
know,
me.
I know they have the andropause.
Andropause,
They have the andropause, but maybe they do.
Maybe they do.
All
Yeah.
right, we're not the
Yeah.
doctors here, but perhaps they do as well.
Because their hormones decreases as well.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
the
They don't like to talk
testosterone
about it, but
that decreases too. And of course, why men think that the sexual drive lasts for an eternity, you know, there are other psychological things
Yes, that
that
happen.
go on
yeah.
with men. The stress
Yes.
levels are lower. You know, so many other things happen. They have brain fogs as well. I've seen a lot and more. Even my husband, brain fog is like you're going for something. What am I going for? It's like got to come back up and go back down to figure out what was it you were going for in the first place.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
But they
in
don't pay
that-
attention like we.
No, and in that case, sometimes
Because
we are
I
the
guess it's
ones.
ego too,
Whatever it is that they were going for is
We
like
go
you
remind
just
them.
know
We go remind them.
that
yes.
is what they were going for, and you have it in your hand. All right.
We want them out for real, for real.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So one of the persons on the chat is saying her mood swings. Was one of the
Yes.
things that
Yeah.
really surprised her. She said it went from 0 to 9 in seconds.
Yeah.
Can.
Right?
Wow.
So
Yeah.
that was one of the things I guess surprised
And the
her.
flashes sometimes they come like a heat in your face, you know, or like the place is hot, right? And you're feeling that extra heat and you want to take off all your clothes and everything is like a bother to you. But sometimes it's just like a heat just come over you, like somebody put a hot clutter over your face.
Wow.
So sometimes you have to understand what is hot flash. Sometimes we say hot flash, but what do you mean by hot flashes? It means that you have a certain rise in your temperature of your body. In fact, I think they have some scientific name for it, a term or something,
Yeah.
right? A scientific name that the heat of your body heat or your body temperature rises, and those are you have to blame the hormones for that.
Yes, it's a hormone.
You have to blame the hormone. I probably get the word for you just now, but anyway. But it's a rise in that heat in your body,
Right.
and in some cases, some people feel very cold too. So it's not like just heat, but cold. Sometimes the place is hot, and you put on jacket and you put on sweater and you put on
Yes, you have
like
to-
layers of
Yes,
clothes,
yes.
right? Because you're cold. So it could have the opposite effects,
wow.
but it's not like you're going to die. you would not die.
But let's
But
pause a little here.
Yes.
Imagine you're sleeping in the night, the AC is on, you were feeling hot, so you remove the covers because you were just feeling cold. So you remove the covers and then you cool down a bit. Then all of a sudden you're feeling cold again. That time you're just about to sleep, and then you put the covers back on.
It's
And
a
when you're
task, it's a
feeling
task.
it's a task. And when you're feeling nice and cozy and you're about to sleep again, the heat has started.
Oh my gosh.
Covers go up.
Yes,
So
sometimes,
the interesting thing here is that you are really working out. They tell you at this stage you're supposed to exercise a lot, but for those of us that are going through something like that, we're already exercising for the whole night. So the covers.
Yeah.
Oh my. So what about some and what are some natural you mentioned exercise. So in addition to exercise, what are some other possibly natural remedies to help you assist you going through this time? What can ladies do? What can we
I think
do?
for the most part, I will encourage people to visit their doctors. You know, because the doctors will be able to tell you, you know, your biological composition, especially a specialist in that area. But sometimes you will have you will have to exercise. Well, if that does not work in your case, then you'll have to. I think the diet is important. Your diet, because of course, as Dr. Martin was telling us, the soy products, the genetically modified soy, is also very dangerous for that. And also, he says if you do a lot of caffeine, you know, we in the Caribbean, and maybe North America and so on, when it's cold, it's coffee or chocolate, right? So the caffeine is also, or if you have a history of smoking, that also hinders that. But your exercise, your sleep is also important. Although some people can get, but a sleep loss can make you behave like you take LSD, right? Drugs. Sleep loss is a very, very dangerous thing, you know, because sleep is a natural rejuvenator.
Right.
It revitalizes the systems of your body. Systemically, your body rejuvenates. I could be tired, like I can't even hold up my head, I can't hold my foot.
Right.
But give me half an hour and I'm bright up
Yes.
and running again, you know. So sleep is a natural rejuvenator. So your diet, mostly lifestyle changes. No, because as you say, you want to, you're cute, you don't want to wear glasses, you know, you want to behave like you're 16 again, and you should
Get some
keep
contacts.
your, you know, you should keep your youthfulness. Don't behave like the world has lost and you just all kind of how you're dressing all kind of how you rags up. No. We're not encouraging that, but we're encouraging simple lifestyle changes. You know, adjust your home, for example, adjust things in your home. As you say, maybe just put in a AC, bring a AC fan, or put some fan in your house, or open the windows, or just some simple lifestyle, natural thing, and eat healthy. Not processed thing, not Kentucky chicken as well. The chicken that are imported are very bad for us, because they are genetically modified, you know, in the production, right? Local chicken, maybe local or whatever, maybe leave the chicken out. Even some dairy products and so on. You have to be so careful with the processed foods,
Right.
But you eat a lot of the healthier stuff, the natural things that we have, like callaloo and pumpkin. You know, these natural vegetables and fruits is healthier for us than the pastas and all the other genetically modified.
Eat local.
Eat local. Grow your food and eat what you grow and grow what you eat, right? Yeah. And also understand your own family history, right? Because if you have cases of like different ailments in your family, diabetics, because you can get up to type 3 diabetes when you're going to menopause. And type 3 diabetes, I understand the science says it's Alzheimer's. Is the dementia aspect of it, where you lose memory and thought and that kind of thing. So you want to be, even now, you don't have to wait until menopause to go and take all kind of herbs and all kind of remedy. And sometimes there are hormonal treatment, but you'll have to get it in balance. So if you're using estrogen, you have to balance that with the progesterone, because that more mimics the natural order. Then you just take a whole set of estrogen. you're going to kill yourself. I mean, after a while, it's going to develop into more problems. So there's simple lifestyle changes. As we say, alter the things around you, your family, the environment, your settings. Even if the room too small, you expand. What simple lifestyle changes that you didn't have? Maybe some people go and take little walks because exercise is critical. Go and take. I see a lot of people in their 40s or 50s. They're walking, and you know what's going on there already because you see them on the you see them on the street. But your diet is important. Dietary choices is very, 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 very food rich in fighting, with estrogen, and that's able to fight and replace the hormones. In some cases in third world countries, they have hormonal treatments. So it's very important to visit your doctors as well.
I think I think that's key.
That's key
because your doctors have the right advice that you would need.
Because I mean, we have our doctors, right? Girl, I did drink that and that'll help me. So you go and drink that too. I just always
go to
take
the people that are well learned.
Take other people's medicine, but I mean, sometimes good practices, best practices, it may work.
Yes,
especially we have a lot of potent herbs here in Grenada.
Right.
Very potent herbs. That we can use aside of the chocolate and aside of the caffeine and outside of these, elite beverages and food. And we could go back to local. Our old people, they didn't even know they go through menopause because they eat well.
Yes.
They never eat this chicken that we eat in the yard fall. They go outside, they get a goat, whatever. They get the cassava, they get the pumpkin, they get all the things of the vegetables that they grow. Nothing with chemicals in it, nothing with scientific processing in it. And those help them in their body and they live. I visited a lady in spring. She was 102 years old. And she looked like she just turned in 70. 102 years old, right? There has to be something they're doing right.
Yes.
So dietary changes always exercise, sleep, regular checkups in your body, get your regular screenings and what have you, pap smears, your mammograms, and all of the other things that women normally will detect. Anything you detect early, you'll be able to deal with it.
So to the audience, those of you out there, you may have some remedies or so that has worked well for you. You've been to your doctor, and these are some of the things, the healthy practices that you have utilized that has really worked for you. Maybe you can share some on the chat so that we can share it with persons out there as well. I'm seeing here from one of our listeners. She's saying, Auntie Sylvie, in my late 40s, I used to be having this heat. I didn't understand what it was. No one else not feeling that way was still seeing my period. As time goes by, my period began to flow in an unusual way. Then I understood what it really was. All right. Thank you for sharing, Auntie Sylvie. All right.
That's most likely what it is.
Yes.
Late 40s, you notice the age, right?
Yes. All right.
We should tell Auntie Sylvie, welcome to the club.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's a club.
No, Auntie Sylvie is sharing. She's older now.
What it used to be.
Yes, what happened back then? Because Auntie Sylvie is supposed to be somewhere up in her 70s there about now. Okay. Yes, thanks for sharing. Thank you for sharing, Auntie Sylvie. So, to the persons perhaps maybe just starting the journey. All right, is there some little advice? I want us in a little bit, I want us to go into some of the myths and misconceptions of the whole the what people say about menopause, what is not true. Because I'm sure there are a lot of myths out there, certain things that people say, and we've heard about, and then when you go through it, you realize, nah, that is not on point. That's not really true. People just say that. People just right? But so share some of the myths, the misconceptions. Maybe somebody is just starting off and you want to let them know. When you hear people say that, don't listen to them. All right? Some little advice maybe you want to give to somebody that, maybe me. Or somebody not quite yet starting the journey, but they're gonna get there. and some little advice that you may want to give to a person, a young lady, so that when they get to that stage, they know. Think about this. Think about that.
I know one of the myths that normally comes with it, and the men were like this, reduce sexual drives.
Is that really true?
It's a myth because not everybody. Some people are heightened at that point because one of the rationale for that is that during your pregnancy age or childbearing age, you don't really want sex because you're afraid you're going to get pregnant. So you're cautious.
True.
You don't want to make another child, no, kind of thing like that. So you're reserved every time you go. You're always on the edge. But now you can't get pregnant. Well, I mean, I know there's a lady who got pregnant in menopause. And maybe she wasn't in menopause, but she had a twin actually during menopause, right, from our own community, and they're big children now. But you're a little bit more free. You don't have to think about, because that is one of the things that deter ladies from sexual intercourse, not just the pleasure for the other half, but when pleasure is over, there's a depositing, right? And that is not very good because your system is always preparing, always preparing, always preparing, And so in the menopausal stage, for some women, it's like you're free, hambil, cut. So you're a little bit more open, even though your libido function decreases. You have less, libidial functions, dryness and all of that. In some women will decrease it. You don't have the appetite, you don't have the urge. And I think that comes to with, I think not just this come to the sexual experience itself, but the circumstances as well. Who the spouse is, how they're treating you, these kinds of things that creates a repellent maybe to that, that experience, but it's not a one size fit all in this case where everybody going to experience
the same
the
thing.
same reduced section. And you were talking about Ms. Mom, you were talking about the divorce rate, and I have seen this experientially that a lot of women, even in churches, we don't understand it, right? And I didn't think pastors understood it. That during when men reach 40 and women reach 40 and up, and we have this menopausal transition happening, an anthropausal transition. Men has go through a significant transition, I believe, at 40 years old, right? And you have these tensions. For example, you said hot flashes or whatever else. The woman become, for a man, he might just shun her, or now he's looking for fresh meat over there, the nice young dude, so and so, because this one, it becomes a repellent, right? It becomes a repellent because she's not sexy and she's not, her body always sweating and she whatever. And it becomes like a deterrent, you see? And then if you don't understand what's happening, like, you have support, but it can create a lot of argument because you're arguing about this over there when that is the cause of it. But you don't know because you're frustrated. And then there's separation. So you're arguing about the milk when it's not the milk. And then bam, this one go that way and that one go that way. And then you're going over to the young dude because you want to feel young because you're going down the curve. And there's a lot of psychologies happening here. And then you have people who have been 20 years in marriage, 30 years in marriage, 25 years in marriage, they're divorced. It's not just attributed to some issues in the problem, but a lack of understanding of developmental transitions. Even old age itself is a different kind of psychology, right? A lot of people are ready for that. When we see we eye going dim and we have to get glasses, we're not ready for that. You understand what I'm saying? So we want to play cute and we don't wear any glasses and we dig in the phone so we eye going so and we can't see, right?
Yes.
I went for my glasses early because I know this is the first sign of aging for a young person, the dimming eyes, and sometimes it comes back. In later years, we've seen people in their 50s and 60s don't reading with no glasses. But you're reading with glasses, you just turned 40 or you're just in your 30s, right? So the sexual thing, I would want to kind of put in there as a myth. I used to think so, but it changes in different circles. Some people heighten, some people becomes less interesting because it's not fun for them, because it's painful for some women as well.
Yes.
Because
The
there's
dryness,
not the
yeah.
lubrication. Because a lot of men don't understand sex is not just about penetration at any own time. There has to be a readiness of the vagina when it begins to lubricate.
That's it.
Then is when you're ready. Maybe children, this is we have to say rated R. But when there is a lubrication and enough stimulation, then you're ready for penetration or intercourse, and then you create less harm. But if that vagina is not releasing enough mucus to lubricate the area of the vagina, that you will have to use something to augment that, maybe liquid Vaseline or some other thing to give that added comfort, because it's going to be painful,
Right.
especially if you're tense, right? But you have to work that out. Understand? It's not just about forcing yourself on people, or just about doing things that are without understanding of the whole sex. A lot of our culture, and I just want to put in this there, do not understand sex and how sex works and how it is being done. Right? You have men, they just do the same thing over and over. But there's a science. Even Billy Graham as well. I've been listening to a program by Billy Graham, but he's talking about even touching the clitoris. You ask someone, what is the clitoris? They don't know. All right? And he talks about when you touch the clitoris, you don't just touch the physical component of the person, you touch also the soul of the person. That's why for women, sex is an emotional thing as well. But a lot of men don't understand the science of sex. Really, I could prove that. In a lot of cases, you ask a man, like in the cycle, how it works, what are the science involved, and they cannot tell you. Right? They cannot tell you. So we probably have to take a break so that we are going to take
a short break.
Yes.
And we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. The conversation is coming.
Singles and married couples, are you ready to defend the cause? Let's stand together at the Epic Marriage Conference 2025. The weekend begins with our Singles Conference, Friday, October 24th from 5 p.m. Ticket price $100. Our marriage conference follows on Saturday, October 25th from 9 a.m. and on Sunday, October 26th from 3 p.m. Ticket price $250 per person. Ticket outlets: Mitchell's Pharmacy, Grandans Shopping Center, and JDIA Pharmacy, Brew Street Mall, St. George. All sessions will be held at the Radisson Grenada Beach Resort. Be a part of this epic experience and get a chance to win exciting prizes. Epic Marriage Conference, October 24th to 26th. Defending the cause. This event is proudly supported by our platinum sponsors, Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited and the Ministry of Social Development. Singles and married couples, are you ready to defend the cause? Let's stand together at the Epic Marriage Conference 2025. The weekend begins with our Singles Conference, Friday, October 24th from 5 p.m. Ticket price $100. Our marriage conference follows on Saturday, October 25th from 9 a.m. and on Sunday, October 26th from 3 p.m. Ticket price $250 per person. Ticket outlets: Mitchell's Pharmacy, Grandans Shopping Center, and JDIA Pharmacy, Brew Street Mall, St. George. All sessions will be held at the Radisson Grenada Beach Resort. Be a part of this epic experience and get a chance to win exciting prizes. Epic Marriage Conference, October 24th to 26th. Defending the cause. This event is proudly supported by our platinum sponsors, Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited and the Ministry of Social Development.
All right. We are back. We are back, and the conversation has been really interesting. For those of you just joining us, we are talking about the pause, menopause. All right. And the discussion has really been an interesting one. For those of you who are just joining us, you might just need to go back to the beginning to get every single part of this. Trust me, you need to go back if you did not hear from the beginning. So before the break, we were talking about some of the myths and misconceptions of menopause. Bishop was sharing about the fact that a lot of persons think that, you know, you're going through menopause and you're going to lose, the woman is going to lose her sex drive. She was sharing that that's not the case, right? In some cases, yes, and in some cases, no. All right. So don't think that one size is going to fit all. Your experience might just be a different one. And we were having a little conversation during the break, which we would love for Wendy to share. She was sharing an experience with her about her mom, just observing her mom when, as a child.
I was just sharing that I think more should be taught about menopause in our early stages in life, just as how you would go through being taught about puberty and reproduction. But you just scratch the surface about menopause and you have no idea. So I recall many years ago, because my mom would have passed away when I was in my early 20s. And I'm recalling further back, probably around age 10 for me, 9, 10, her combing my hair. And she's there sweating. And I had no idea. And I mean, it used to bother me. Why is she sweating so much over me? You know? And now that I am going through this, and she's not even here to tell me what it was like for her. And it's quite possible that what I'm experiencing, she might have experienced some of those things, you know? So again, knowing your family history, understanding yourself, and knowing not to give up, looking at yourself and embracing the little changes is very important, so that you don't make a drastic negative change, because you when you realize that you have actually changed, for you to get to that level, to meet that change, to really figure yourself out, it's going to be a task for you. But if you grow with the gradual changes, you embrace them, you love yourself no matter what. Because no matter what, you will change. You might lose some of that curve. Your thighs might get bigger. Your boobs might droop. Things are going to happen. The fact that you know that some of these things are going to happen, and not all of us have that luxury of going to a gym and building muscles and getting, the physique of a bodybuilder. And not all of us have that. So we just have to embrace it. And men, love your woman. Love them no matter how they are, and encourage them. Embrace those changes that you see that are happening with them. Because you too, you're changing. And they have to try to embrace your changes. So it's, we have to balance it here now. So as a result of that, I think things are going to work out way better when we're all having that harmonious kind of a give and take talk, chat, say what is happening, explain what you like, what you don't like, because even your likes and dislikes might change. Your views on certain things might change. Things are going to confuse you. You may have to go to the pastor, to the priest, to the teacher, to try to figure out, is that what I'm thinking? That's how it's supposed to be? Or you might just suddenly figure out that that carpet over there was not blue after all, because your eyes now seeing it as yellow. And then you go closer and then it looks like orange, and then you're totally confused at this stage. But chatting with others, them understanding the way you view things and you understanding the way they view things can kind of give you some kind of centering, so you understand whether you're going cuckoo or not. Identifying when you've had enough and you need to see a doctor. That is actually one of the most important things. Visiting your doctor regularly, getting your checkups, and not just going and telling the doctor when you have the flu that you have the flu. You know, some of us would go to the doctor and be self-diagnosed to the doctor. We go and we say, doctor, I have the flu. I want some medication. So he ain't bothering, or she's not going to bother to do any sort of major physical thing on you because you went and you said you had the flu. So they're going to target just the flu. But what we as women want to do during this transition stage and phase in our lives is go for a full, total body checkup. Your blood test, your blood pressure, your weight, your hair. Let the doctor figure out what's going on there too. Because some of you are going through what we would call alopecia, where you're losing your hair. And when you lose your hair, it's down to the scalp, there's nothing there. And some persons don't realize that what is happening is actually that. Some of us may experience the thinning of the hair, and it's really part of the fit. And some, again, you go through those stages and everything comes back nice and dandy after, right? Your teeth, the health of your teeth is very important. Calcium drops. So let me give you a joke. Well, it's not really a joke because this is serious business. Now, I'm one of those persons that never had a toothache in life. So I did not know what a toothache was until about a year ago. I had this funny sensation in the mouth. Every time I bite or chew on something, I'm getting this seizing sensation. And I thought to myself, if that's a toothache, it's not pain, but it's very uncomfortable. I don't want to have to go through any more of that. So I ran to the dentist. And the dentist is looking at the tooth and they checked and everything. They did an x-ray and all of that. And they did not see anything was wrong with that tooth. But they said it's probably something where you'd have to do a root canal. I said, okay. So they started the process and all of that. And when they were about to start that process of the root canal, what they really realized is that the tooth had a hairline fracture. Now, I'm giving you all of these experiences, those are my personal experiences, to tell you that after all these years in my life, here I am with a cracked tooth and I have no idea what cracked my tooth. Healthy teeth. And I had no idea what cracked my tooth. And it's because of the stages and phases in my life. So what do I do now? I make sure that the dentist checks my teeth often. I take whatever calcium I need to, supplements I can take that my doctor says is okay for me to take. And I try to do right by my gums and teeth because I do not want to be wearing dentures very early. That's another taboo. But again, me saying that does not mean that those of you who have lost some of your teeth, that you should not go and get dentures. In fact, our dentists these days, they're very good at putting in I think they have the ones you can put in the individual tooth and that sort of a thing. So there's so many things now advanced that nobody will know. That it's no longer those days where you take the dentures off at night and put it to soak in the night on the nightstand. No, it's no longer like that. You're kind of fancy now. Exactly, we're quite advanced. So go get your dental checked, your teeth checked. Get healthy teeth is a good thing. Check your eyes, check your feet, check your hands, check your toes, everything. Total body checkup. Your you do your sugar test, as the old people would say. You check to see if you have sugar, or if you have diabetes, and you reduce on your intake of sugar. You reduce on that. One of the things too that have helped me, and I had to really check myself. I love taking care of my family. So I would go to work, I will come back home, and it's my second job. I will head into the kitchen, make sure that everybody is okay. For those of you who are close to me and they know me, they know I'm all about my family. And I realized that I was taking on a lot from work, come home. So as the children got older, I had to make a conscious effort to delegate.
Right.
It's not just because how would they learn? And then they will always be depending on you if you don't get them to do things. So that reduced my stress level by delegating. Even at work, you might be the helicopter boss that always want to do. But if you're able to show, you understand the staff you have, their competencies, you also delegate this so that they themselves get to learn, understand what the whole dynamics of the job is. And that way you reduce your stress level. They report to you, you correct where correction is needed, and that's how you manage. If you don't do things like that, they won't learn.
And I like the idea that you shared regarding the self-care, right? Because going through those kind of changes, you need to be able to love yourself, appreciate yourself. I have to admit that's one of the things that I've struggled with. Your body changing in different ways, and it's one of the things that we have to learn to accept as not just women but men as well, as you said, because everybody body changing as well. We spoke about the support from husbands, right? I like that you spoke about also about delegating responsibility, because you want that, you're going through this stage and you're not like before. You can't keep up as before. You need the kind of assistance, and your children have to learn as well, because they need to become more responsible. So I like the fact that you spoke about delegating the responsibility. The children need to learn, right? All of that being a part of your transition in that stage, right? Your co-workers you spoke about in terms of your boss, and so, because all of these relationships will be affected in this stage, and you need to learn how to transition in the right way, ensuring that you maintain the best relationship with your children, with your parents, with your husband, with your co-workers, and all of this helps, yes, along the journey.
Include that our psychosocial care is also important.
Yes.
And our spiritual care. Can't be
At all.
Mental wellness, mental soundness, right? Because of course all of the different elements that are stressors from your work, from your family, even your community, people you engage in, friends, colleagues, what have you. You have a lot bombarding you every day.
Right.
Right. So it's important sometimes to detox from all of these, things that are happening outside of you. Spend some quiet time, with God. Spend some quiet time with yourself, appreciating yourself, valuing who you are, and understanding the transitions that you're going through. Because we like to postpone old age. We're doing whatever. Whether we have to augment eyelash, whether we have to augment hair, whether we have to augment bottom, breasts, whatever. And I will say, do what you have to do to look good. You understand? I mean, don't be too exorbitant, you know. Don't. I mean, there's some women, they have an augment for the to the bottom. You know, they have to hang it out on the wire.
Oh gosh.
But you know, get a nail, get a manicure, pedicure. Do you know? Do
Yes.
something
Treat yourself.
to treat yourself
Yeah.
well. Sometimes you
Yes.
need to just have an alone time.
Yes.
I say 3 times you need to have, right? You have to have time with your family, of course, your spouse. You have to have time with your family, but you have to have alone time.
Yes.
Right? And so the psychosocial care is also important because with the changes that are going on in your body, right? It competes with your mental resolve because there's also emotional changes as well, psychological changes that's
And
happening
somebody
in
was
your
just
brain.
asking a question
Yes.
there. Can menopause affect mental health to the point of a
Yes,
mental?
yes, because of course it helps self-esteem
Mm-hmm.
is also challenged because you're not the nice, wonderful, beautiful
Mm-hmm.
person that you thought you were. So when you compare your pictures, sometimes when I compare pictures, I realize when I really did get old in June because that was 5 years ago. I look, you know, the difference or whatever. Because sometimes you cannot really tell,
Yeah.
you know. But when you look back at these pictures, they tell the narrative that you have changed,
Yes.
right? So, dealing with those changes, you know, you're trying to keep up, you know, with the styles and fashion,
Right.
which is good, you know. Do that and keep your body and keep yourself dressed nice, you know. Don't just say, well, oh, I have flat flash, and you just,
Yes.
you
Don't
know,
give up.
if you had to bathe 2-3 times, yes, do the
Yes, bathe 2-3
bathing, but
times.
also take care of how you're feeling
Yes.
and how, you know, your emotions are going on. If you're anger and agitated, or you're vexing easy, or you're quarreling too much, or what have you, you have to know that you have to calm down. You know, you have to get yourself, compose yourself, think about what you're thinking about. You know, you might have suicidal thoughts. You might think, I'm not good enough. My husband wouldn't like me, blah, blah, blah. And you're going down the road, but all that, maybe you're going to get a young, whatever. Those things are going to bother you. Yeah, they're going to affect your mental wellness. So you have to be mindful of that.
Yeah.
That you have to keep your mental sanity. You are the apples of God's eye. You are beautiful. You're wonderfully made. You know, you're just an older version of yourself, but you're wonderfully made. I've seen a lot of old people. My God, they're giving the young people a hard time. I'm telling you, because they know how to do it well. You know, augment what is failing, but do it well. You know, it helps. It helps because if I dress a certain way, let's say, for example, as a pastor, right? And I'm going to preach, right? I have to also be conscious, not just of the content that I'm going to deliver. I know I have a real powerful word, a good word, you know, a shared, but then I come dressed like nobody's going to hear my word, you know, because they think, well, she could have put on different shoes, or, you know, what kind of color shirt she have on, right? Because it distracts.
Yeah.
So, because our dress affect our mood, and it affects how confident you are, even in delivering what you're saying, right? It's a whole science in itself.
Yeah,
And sometimes we think we could just throw on that and throw on this, but be intentional about what you wear, how you wear. Even if you're going in the shop, don't just go your breast flapping, blah 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 blah, you know, because you just throw on a jersey or something, you're gone in the shop because you feel it's just up the road, you know. Put on a bra and go outside,
Yeah.
you know, or, you know, do something
And a
that
good bra.
a good bra,
bra.
you know, put a little thing on your face.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm going down to church and I put on a little thing. Mommy, you're just going in the church. Where's the point? I just going to pick up my daughters. And I learned that I had it last time. You know, I'm going to pick up my daughters. I don't know if I pick up my daughters. Sometimes I might have to go here, there, everywhere.
Exactly.
It might just not be a trajectory of pick up the daughter and come back home. Sometimes things happen like last time somebody hit on my car. I just had to rush out past Josie, picking up my daughter. And I said, no, that's not me. Every time I go to pick up, I put on something proper because I don't
Yeah.
know what will
What would
happen. You know what I
happen?
mean?
Be prepared.
So you have to be prepared, and it helps you. It helps your mental. And I've seen in Grenada, and I commend our Grenadian ladies. They do it well. You know, some of them, even if they have to cut their hair short, they go to the barber and they get a nice style. These days, the Clorox helping us good. You understand? The bleach is helping us good because you can slim down because it's hot, as you said, you had locks and whatever. So you go and take a nice trim down. You don't have to care about hair in your head like mine, you know, sweating up yourself. And you're looking good at the same time, you know. So that also helps.
Oh, great conversation. Guys, we are winding things down, getting ready to end our conversation for today. But before we end, we want to leave on a note of humor. We want to make you all smile. I don't know. I don't know. I cannot say that I've experienced menopause. Perhaps I'm seeing some little symptoms there of the perimenopause. But I want to hear from the ladies sitting here with me. Has there been a moment of something that happened through this stage, something that you can share a little humor with the audience out there, something that happened, something that you recall, maybe you were not expecting, and something that we can all share that could keep a little smile on our face. And for the audience out there, we're sharing. You can also share. I'd like you also to share with us maybe a word or a phrase that sums up the whole menopause for you. Maybe the husbands can share as well. The men, what can you say in terms
We
of?
could have some men calling and share.
Yes, are we taking calls, Mr. Producer? Are we taking calls? Can we take calls? I am
We
not
have to work it
sure.
out.
Okay, well, share something with us. Send a
Send a
voice
voice,
note.
yes.
Right? Yes, you can
Yes.
call. So the WhatsApp number is 403
10:35,
10
31.
1031 1031. All right. So the WhatsApp number 403 1031. So if you'd like to call to share something short, maybe a word that sums up the whole menopause experience for you, maybe the men. Your andropause, or maybe you just want to describe your wife. This is the word that you will sum it up as, or maybe a phrase. All right.
I'm thinking of one. I'm not sure I'm prepared to share that on national TV.
Oh my
Sorry,
goodness.
guys.
Share with us. I don't know. It may be more than one words. I don't know. We want to end on a good note this evening rather. When do you want to start? Bishop, anybody want to start? A phrase, a word, an experience you want to share? Give us a little laugh.
I would love for somebody to invent an AC or something built under the
Into your
or
skin.
something, so it knows when the hot flash
Yeah, like a thermostat for the
Cool
body.
you down. Cool you down.
Yeah.
We went to before you continue, we went to Universal Studios over the vacation, and they were, as we walked through the area, they had these spots. They call them the cooling areas. So they had like
Interesting.
sprinklers, or they had like
Yeah.
these I don't know what you call it, kind of like spraying water,
Yeah.
not a lot of
Yeah,
water, but
yeah.
you just
Just to
go
cool
and it's
out.
like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
trust me,
It's
that was
therapy. It's a therapy.
so as you said that, that just
Yeah.
reminded me, you have those cool down areas.
bottles of they're more like aerosol spray.
Okay.
Actually water
Okay.
that you can purchase
Yes.
to cool you down.
Right.
So
Okay.
whenever you're having a hot flash.
Mhm.
I haven't seen them here, but they do sell them abroad.
Okay.
And now they have pillows. Those are actually pillows
Ah,
that you
okay.
can purchase that keeps the remains cool through the
Okay.
Oh.
That's good.
Look at that.
night. What I have done, especially when I'm in the kitchen and it's extremely hot outside, the old people, they will not be too pleased. I remember when I
But I have decided that the best way to help me stay cool if I have a hot flash during the time I am cooking, I'm sticking a towel in the freezer. And when I feel that heat, I'm taking the towel out and I'm just tapping. Yeah.
Okay. Old
But
people turning in their
the
grave.
old people turning in their grave.
Yep.
Yep. But it works. It works.
Cool
So
you
so
down.
far, I'm doing it in moderation because I said too much
Yes.
of
The
one thing
heat
is
and the
good for
cold.
nothing.
Yes.
So, and I'm going to take advantage of that because I'm well aware that something like that could cause some other thing.
Yes.
Yeah. But all in all, it's a wonderful journey.
Yeah.
I am enjoying life.
Right.
I don't see the phase and the stage that I'm going through as a horrible thing,
Yeah.
even though sometimes it may seem daunting. I'm looking forward to the day when there'll be no period. I do
Completely
not
gone.
like the unexpected one,
Yes.
because at
Yes.
this stage you can't really prepare. You just don't know
Yes,
when.
it's gonna
And
come.
I'm used to all of my life from the time I've had a period, knowing on the
Exactly
dot
when.
exactly when. No, you don't know exactly when. So I guess for some people it could be embarrassing.
Yes.
When this just happens and then you have to rush home and that sort of a thing. But I'm really looking forward to, just continuing to enjoy the phase and the stage and the journey through this, even though it's frustrating sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Like our audience out there, a little bit shy. I'm not seeing any comments coming in, any word to describe menopause or any phrases to describe menopause. I don't know, Bishop, do you have any experiences that you would like to share or a word that you would like to use
I might
maybe
hang
to
myself. I mean, it happened very recently. I mean, I'm not proud of it, but I remember, and this is one of the things as well that happens during menopausal stages that we have to pay attention to. It's frequent urination. So
you gotta go.
yeah,
You can't hold it.
right.
Oh
And
gosh, well,
so
all
I
you
was
can do.
asleep. I was sleeping in the night, and somehow, when you have these dreams where you
Yes.
feel like
You're
you're just
doing
going. And when I get up, I didn't know that. When I get
Okay,
up,
we don't have to say.
Pause. I might hang myself in that This is where we take a pause, right?
Well, what do you call it when you can't hold it? The
Incontinence?
Incontinence. Is that a part of the, because I realize that lately it's like I cannot hold it. Once it come, I just gotta go.
Yeah.
Before you could kind of hold it a little bit more. It's like, oh gosh, no.
Yeah, you had to go. You gotta go.
Just gotta
You
go.
gotta go.
You know?
But
that was embarrassing.
That too, just to make sure, check your
Check it
doctor.
out. Check it out. Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Because there can be other things that could cause.
Yes. Sure. We're getting a comment here from Sherry Ann. She's saying, good talk, ladies. You covered a whole lot. Menopause comes with so many diverse symptoms. No two person has the same or all of the same ones.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that comment.
And you would not have all.
Yes.
You might have a predominant one or two.
Yes. Christine saying we're still young. Yes, we're still young.
Yeah. Celebrate ourselves. Celebrate yourselves. Celebrate yourself.
Enjoy that for you.
And the reality is that in all of the different stages of our lives, we don't really educate ourselves upon. Even with the adolescents, right? It's like almost people go through it experientially, but there is nothing to prepare you for it. I mean, we thank God for Planned Parenthood, and we thank God for all these organizations who have come on board to help educate us, the rights of the children and so on, to help with educating on these different aspects of our lives, because it becomes so much easier for us to be able to transition from stages in our lives and not try to run away from certain stages that might not be all that, And sometimes when I watch like a narrative or a story or a movie or something, and then you kind of like just chat when that person was young and nice, and then now this person old, they died, or one of them movie stars, and then they were they would do a flashback of their life.
Right.
From the time they're born, and you just watch. Everybody has to go through.
Yes.
Stages of that. There's a riddle that I think it was a book or something we were reading, and this riddle came in. Or I was doing something with my daughter. She was doing a novel for a course, and it was upon these ancient Greek cultures. And there was this creature who was at the gate of the city or something, and everybody pass, they will have to answer a riddle, and if they don't answer the riddle, they get killed. So one of the riddles was, what walks on 4 feet in the morning, 2 feet at noon, and 3 feet at night. And maybe you're thinking too, what's the answer to that riddle? If anybody knows the answer to that riddle, you can always call in. The number to call is 431. I see Lilian is thinking hard, very hard.
What walks
on 4 feet in the morning, 2 feet at noon, and 3 feet at night.
Wow.
Or in the evening,
Anybody knows the answer
Anybody
to that
knows
riddle?
the answer? Send a voice message.
Send a voice message.
You don't even want to rest till you
Yeah.
pause or not. Well, it was a good quiz, and I mean the person ended up answering it and saved the city, actually, literally.
Oh.
But I think it was not really a difficult answer.
Wow.
But anybody knows it, you can call in before we end. Send a voice note.
Send a voice note if you can.
If you can tell the answer.
Yes.
But it was making a point I was saying just now. So I see Lynette is thinking hard.
Very hard. And you said it's a simple something.
It's very simple. But it's a 4 feet, 2 feet, 3 feet. And maybe later on no feet.
Oh my goodness.
It's like they're cutting.
Somebody say a human being. Yes, sir. That's the answer.
4 feet.
When you're a kid, you creep.
Oh, you're thinking
When you're a
about one
toddler.
day.
Yeah.
You're thinking about one day, but it's like
It's like a period of time. So I was talking about the developmental stages.
Right.
The old person with the stick, the walking stick. Yeah. So I was talking about the developmental period in our life that we don't cater for. We don't realize that we're transitioning even from the from infant to childhood and to adolescence and to young adults and to senior years. I get the opportunity to walk through all of these stages, experiencing not me per se, but seeing different people. The old people, I've seen a whole generation of them go. So I understand a lot of the science of aging as well. That helps me. I've taught in school for over 20 years, so I know from kindergarten up to CXC levels, right? So I understand that developmental stages, and it helps really to understand. Somebody saying something. Understand here that we don't prepare enough for the different stages in our life. I've seen, for example, some of the men who's gone through over 40 and like they crash at 40.
Right.
They literally crash. Like they get anxiety. Like they think that the world is end. Lord, I reached 40, I ain't accomplished this. This ain't accomplished. Lord, and they realize now that they're going downwards. Before 40 is 50. And there's such an anxiety. And before 50, I could be 60. And so they're carrying on and start. They don't understand the stages in their lives. And what do I do now at this stage of my life? Aging is supposed to have wisdom and maturity. As you grow, you're supposed to grow in wisdom and maturity. And learning and understanding so that you can transfer to the next generation. But we duck and we dance. I don't want to get old now. I reached 25 already. And some people say, well, you're old, you're quaint, you're old, This is our culture. We call all kinds of names.
Embrace every stage.
We tease people. In Grenada, we're very insensitive to other things. You might say, girl, you're losing your hair, or some kind of old talk that later on will affect you.
And I think that's why
some
We're just
persons
so
don't want to
insensitive.
talk
Yeah.
about those
And that's
things.
why they have the
Yeah.
taboo of not saying anything.
Mhm.
Nobody want to say they're menopause, or people tease them, oh girl, you're gone through now, you know.
Yes, yes.
We're just so insensitive in our society. Yeah.
So trust me, you ain't going through it. You're on point.
Thank you so much, Marsha, for that comment there. She said, "Wonderful session, ladies. I think the key takeaway is that everyone woman is different. Therefore, we need to be aware and understand the stages of life and make the necessary adjustments." So much blessings. Thank you so
Much
much.
blessings, Marsha.
And I think this is a good
Yes,
note
to end.
to end. Thank you so much to our audience for joining us, for the comments, for the questions, for spending this last 2 hours with us. 2 hours, can you believe it?
Wow.
Thank you so much.
I hope we have refreshment.
Yeah. Thank you so much to our dear guest today, Mrs. Wendy Young. It was definitely an honor having you here with us on 103.1 FM. It's Hope FM.
Thank you.
And yes, it was definitely a pleasure. We hope to see you back for
She had to come back. She had to come
for another
back.
session.
Oh, my
Something you
goodness.
are definitely
The
going to be in.
post-menopause?
You'll definitely be back for another session. Thank you so much, Bishop Dr. Esther, for joining us this afternoon. It was indeed a pleasure having this conversation with you ladies, and to our producer in the background. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
And to you, the lovely Romel Sabazan.
Thank you so much. This was indeed a very fruitful and enjoyable conversation.
Yes.
All right. So, ladies, don't forget, and to the men also, this is Women Connect. It is really a program for women, by women. And this is our program. We'll be back again next month. Don't forget, every first Sunday in the month, we have Women Connect. So stay tuned for another interesting program when we're back again. So thank you again. And don't forget, our Epic Marriage Conference is coming up in October from the 24th. That's a Friday night. We have our singles conference. And on the 25th and 26th, we have our couples conference. You can't miss out. If you thought this conversation this evening was interesting, you have to be there. You have to be at Epic, our singles conference, Friday the 24th of October. And for our couples, it's going to be Saturday and Sunday, 25th and 26th of October.
So I think they can scan the QR code to register.
Yes. On the screen is the QR code, so you can scan it to register up on the screen now. So those of you who are on, if you're on YouTube, if you are on Facebook, listening to us, the QR code is up on the screen, so you can also click the link to sign up as well. All right. There's a comment on WhatsApp. I think there's a message. All right. That message is for Bishop. All right. So I thought it was for me. All right. So thank you again, everyone, for joining us. And we'll see you again on Women Connect.
Oh, and we also want to talk about our convention.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Go ahead,
Divine
Bishop.
Impact Convention 2025. It's going to be an explosion this year. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be from the 29th to Wednesday, the 29th of October, all the way to the 2nd of November. So that's that final weekend of October into November, and we have a packed week for you. Of course, it's going to start on the Wednesday with what we call Crack the Code. It's going to be apologetic style debate. So we're looking forward to that as well. And we also, on the Thursday, the 30th, we're going to have our IPA Ministry Training Center graduation exercise for the students of 2025. And we're coming on Friday. We want you to join us on this. Wherever you are across Grenada, the St. Paul's Community Center, Harcourt area, is where we will converge for our Divine Impact Expo. We're going to have a night market, so you can come with your produce. You can come also for the expo. We could come with your business, whatever business that you have. And then we're going to have a live concert in an atmosphere of music and enjoyment. You don't want to miss that. So from Rimble to Timber, okay? So from the child to the aging parent, bring them out on the Friday. And then we converge on the Sunday the 2nd for our Divine Impact Explosion Convention Day. So we want you to join us there as well. And we're going to have our banquet as well. Ending with our banquet is going to start at 9 p.m. So the other activities are going to be the evening at 7. The Friday is going to be at 5, from 5 to 10. So you want to come anytime during that time and join us for our Divine Impact Convention 2025. It is going to be an explosion. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Bishop. And the Empower Me conference, of course, it's on the 27th of this month, Saturday, the 27th of September. Don't forget, come and be empowered. It's going to be a great session. And as you see there in the flyer, many wonderful presenters, facilitators, so you can't miss out. And the price is right. It's only $60. If you're coming as a group, you get to pay $50. It's going to be a great experience. So come and be empowered at House of Prayer Sanctuary, Mardi Gras. Don't forget, don't miss out. So thank you again. Thank you again, everyone. We'll see you again on another Women Connect when we're back again on the first Sunday in October. Have a great evening.
Singles and married couples, are you ready to defend the cause? Let's stand together at the Epic Marriage Conference 2025. The weekend begins with our Singles Conference, Friday, October 24th from 5 p.m. Ticket price $100. Our marriage conference follows on Saturday, October 25th from 9 a.m. and on Sunday, October 26th from 3 p.m. Ticket price $250 per person. Ticket outlets: Mitchell's Pharmacy, Grand Anse Shopping Center, and JDIA Pharmacy, Brew Street Mall, St. George. All sessions will be held at the Radisson Grenada Beach Resort. Be a part of this epic experience and get a chance to win exciting prizes. Epic Marriage Conference, October 24th to 26th. Defending the cause. This event is
Forged in fire, empowered to inspire.
Woman, you are clothed with strength and dignity.
You're beautiful, you're strong, and you're resilient.
You are gifted. You are strong. You are a blessing.
Each other accountable.
Woman, you are precious. You are extraordinary. You are loved. She is kind, nurturing, and very loving.
You are God's precious gift to the earth realm and the body of Christ.
Time to rise and build.
Daughters of God, Women Connect.
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 You are a blessing. Women Connect. For women, by women.